I think it's fascinating to hear your story. So I really would love to share that first. If you can tell us about how Help Heal Humanity started, that would be really incredible.
Okay, so yeah, my name is Serena Bufalino, and I am the founder of Help Heal Humanity. Help Heal Humanity is an international charity that raises funds and awareness for some of the most at-risk youth on our planet today. And how I got here is a kind of interesting story. Because I think one of the main missions of Help Heal Humanity is to educate and inspire not only youth, but humans all over the world, that we have the ability to heal ourselves and the planet. And so I suffered tremendously with academics and school, right? As a teenager, even in elementary school, I wasn't really good at reading and writing, so I got in trouble a lot. You know, I was the girl in class that, you know, wanted to talk to my friends and wanted to socialize, but I never wanted to do the work because I didn't understand the work. And so I always got kicked out of class. You know, Serena, go to the principal's office. Serena, go to the principal's office. And it's funny because a lot of people say, I can't imagine you being a troublemaker. But I was, and I did spend a lot of time in the principal's office, and it was my principal who believed in me. And he always told me, Serena, you can do it. You're not interested, or you don't like what you're learning, or, I had a lot of energy, so sitting down was difficult for me, but he believed in me. And I tell the story one day when I was in his office. He told me that I was going to become what I hate. And I was like, sir, that's a teacher. I hate teachers, you know? And then 20 years later, I graduated university with a master's in teaching. And I then became the teacher that I always wish I had. You know, the teacher that didn't kick me out of class, the teacher that didn't get mad at me for talking and misbehaving, but instead, and even in teachers college, you know, I started working with at-risk youth, all the kids that were not being serviced in a mainstream classroom, all the kids that were not functioning in regular schools and academics. So I've always had a heart to serve the kids that were not being serviced in a mainstream school.
Wow. And it's like, I see the inspiration where it came from, but just the story teaches so much, especially the youth that would hear you, right?
Well, that's what I said. I loved my job. To be honest, I can't believe that my life has and keeps, you know, transforming itself. And now I'm running a charity. So I never actually thought that I would leave my teaching profession. But it is like you said, the students inspired me. And for me to have these kids, what are considered some of the most at-risk youth on our planet, come to my school, come to my program, and open up to me and believe in me and tell me what they're dealing with on a daily basis. For me, they were my inspiration. They were the ones who motivated me. They were the ones who inspired me to be not only the best teacher that I could be, but to teach them how to cope and manage with what was happening in their lives and how to accept where they're at in their lives and then use that to go into the world and be better humans. So again, it was my students that inspired me. And then it was my students who actually were the ones who wanted to help kids in the world that were suffering greater than they were. So, you know, it's that kind of that pay it forward where I basically developed a program that got the kids off the streets, out of the classroom and into the world. And when they were in the world, they were helping at the homeless shelter, they were helping at the women's shelter, they were helping at the daily food bank. So all of a sudden, my kids, special kids in need, we're starting to see, wait, maybe my life is not that bad. And maybe I can actually do something to help somebody else. And I always say, when we are helping people, not only are we helping ourselves, but it's doing something really positive to us, and that feel good feeling kind of just raises your vibration and your energy, and then you just want to keep kind of giving, and you want to keep loving. And so that's really what my students did. They started to see that they could impact the world. And so we started to give back to our local environment, which was the city of Toronto. And then one particular day when my students and I were coming home from feeding the homeless, we saw on the TV stations the earthquake in Haiti. I knew nothing about Haiti, except for Haiti was a very poor country. It was a corrupt country. And I looked at my students, and we were on the train, and I said, you guys think you have it bad. I said, there are kids in this world that would die for your life, that would die for your opportunity. And they were like, Miss, what do you mean? And I said, you know, the stupid school and the stupid police, and you know, they all lived in group homes in foster care. I'm like, you know, the group home and the mental health hospital and all those things that you hate. I'm like, there are kids that don't have a stupid school to go to, and they don't have a group home, and they have nothing. And my students looked at me and they said, well, Miss B, you tell us every day we can do anything we set our minds to. So we need to set our minds to building a school for these kids in Haiti. And just like that, my life changed again, because I did want a role model to them and show them that we could do it. And of course, I had no idea what I was doing. But when you start to focus on something, it starts to happen, you know? And I didn't really think so much about the big picture, but just about the little steps, and just taking little steps every day to try to achieve that goal. And in doing so, all these wonderful new opportunities arose for me and my students. And we started to fundraise, you know, we started to go into our community. And now my students are hosting fundraisers, you know, they're hosting bake sales and samosa sales and garage sales. So they're learning life skills and social skills. And we're doing this all so that we can help kids a world away in Haiti, right? So it became a really, really, really amazing feel-good story that I was just kind of leading by example, and then took over my life.
Wow, and for those kids, I believe it's life transforming. They're never gonna forget what they did with you. This is something they're gonna keep in their hearts.
Yeah, and you know, I still talk to those kids all the time. You know, there was a time where obviously the media started to pay attention to what we were doing. So my students were so excited because they got recognized, and just like anybody in the world, they want to be treated like human beings. And so for them to get appreciated and validated for the work that they were doing, even though the work that they were doing was to help other people, it motivated them, it inspired them. And then, like I said, we raised the money and we did everything we had to do, which was not an easy task, but we were determined to do it. And then I took the proceeds that we raised and I went to Haiti. And, you know, I dedicated my life to helping people. I've worked with what we consider, you know, the most at risk. So I've worked with gang members. I've worked in jails with murderers, rapists, pedophiles. I've worked with, you know, our country's highest cases of abuse, neglect, trauma. I've seen a lot in my life. So it's not like I was completely naive to the injustices in the world. But when I arrived in Haiti, and even to this day, to see what is going on in the world, you know, I'm going to use Haiti as an example because I've, you know, now lived there for 3 years, and to see that that is home to millions of people. and that is a reality for millions of people, again, has somehow motivated me and inspired me to do something about it. And, you know, I never thought I would quit my teaching job. There was so much stability and structure in that job. And there was obviously, you know, making a difference, which was amazing. But I couldn't really see the injustices that were happening in the world and not do anything about it. And so this is me, you know, starting the charity, Help Heal Humanity, and trying to raise our voice and our consciousness to all beings everywhere, that, you know, that there is a lot of injustices happening in the world, and that it begins with each and every single one of us to make a difference. And that if we really are going to heal humanity, and if we really are going to make a difference, then it's up to us to start to do those things. And I'm hopefully going to be providing a platform for people to be able to donate what it is that they're gifted at. So I'm not asking people to do anything like out of the ordinary or crazy. I'm basically just asking you, whatever gift you've been given, because we've all been given talents. You're an artist, right? I'm a caregiver. You know, there's musicians, there's business owners. So whatever gift has been given to you on this planet, I'm asking you to donate that just one day. Just one day, donate that service back to humanity. And if everybody in the world would do that just one time, that would cause such a massive shift, not only in ourselves, but the planet. So this is the movement, and you know, and I thank you, Viviana, for showcasing us on your channel and your audience, and letting your audience know about who we are. And like I said, whether it's art for humanity, dining for humanity, education, you know, yoga, fitness, no matter who you are, there's something that you can do to help, you know, alleviate the stressors and the suffering in the world. And that's what I want to try to do.
It's so inspiring to hear you. It really is. Yeah. And the fact that you lived 3 years in Haiti, you left everything. Tell us a little bit about that experience. How was that?
Haiti forever changed my life. And, you know, it's quite, we're going through a global pandemic right now. And so I think everybody's lives has shifted tremendously from this pandemic. You're being asked to stay home. You're being asked not to, you know, go out into the community. And so that a lot of people are struggling with this uncertainty. A lot of people are struggling with lack of communication and connection. And for me, you know, Haiti, after living there for 3 years, it prepared me for anything and everything. You know, to me, I think especially the people in the Western world who have homes over their, you know, a roof over their head and a fridge and a stove, like, we are so lucky to have these things. And all these things that I think so many of us take for granted is what is missing from our lives. And so when I went to Haiti and I did see what I saw and I experienced what I experienced, it shifted me so much so that when I came back home and I saw all the materialistic things that I had, you know, I had a beautiful condo, I had a car, I had a living room, a dining room, a kitchen, I had everything that you're supposed to have, you know. And I realized that I'm also a single female, so it's very different if you have, you know, children and a family, and I don't have that. So I realized that my purpose was greater than my classroom, and that I did have a bigger calling. And I basically sold everything I own. I sold it all. And I said, you know, I want to go and I want to make this difference and I want to try my best. And I would rather die knowing that I tried, even if I fail, than not try at all. And so I've learned through my experiences of working in these third world countries how to live very simply, because the people of Haiti, people in Kenya, people in Dominican Republic, people in Nicaragua, people in Belize, the way they live every day taught me that I can be okay in any situation. And so they've gifted me, really. And now I want to try to pass those lessons that I've learned from humanity onto the rest of humanity. Just how really gifted and lucky we are, and then how we can just use ourselves to help people who are suffering in a way that none of us will ever understand, you know? And until you really experience it, it's really hard to put yourself in that situation.
True. Thank you so much. Oh my goodness. I'm super inspiring. Hearing you and dreaming. I'm dreaming of bringing you and partnering with you for our project in Colombia, and we'll be able to share that with the audience here very soon, because I think we're gonna make it happen.
I think so. I think, we've, again, and I think the universe puts the people in front of you who need to be in front of you at the time that they're meant to be in front of you. And you shared with me an experience you had as a child. And that experience that you had with the nuns going to orphanages and seeing kids and feeding kids did something to you, 20, 30 years ago that you still remember to this day, and you want to do something about it because you know you can. And so I would love for Help Heal Humanity to be the charity that helps you facilitate that dream of feeding the kids, because that is exactly what we're trying to do. So that would be a gift for me too, and something that you and I can do together and then showcase to our audiences so that other people around the world can see and live and experience it.
Because you have already established in different countries, right?
Yes.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic.
Yeah. So Help Heal Humanity has done projects in Haiti, in Mallorca, Spain, in Belize, in Nicaragua, and Germany, and the USA.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
I'll thank you so much for your time, Serena. We need a part B, part 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, we could do it all. We can do it all. I'm always available. And like you said, anytime that there's an opportunity to share platforms to promote each other, that's the best thing that we can do. Just, even for people who are listening who do not have money or time or energy, which is understandable, it's just, going to our website, liking our page, joining our mailing list, or talking to your friends about it, right? And just word of mouth is what is going to eventually, I think, change the world. And if we can start to inspire humans to be better humans, then I think we did a good thing.
Wonderful. Thanks. And I hope everybody stays inspired out there and visits your website.
Yes. And that's helphealhumanity.org.
Thank you. Thanks so much, Serena. Oh, so excited.
Thank you.
We got it.